So, well, this is it. And there isn't much to say about this, really. Nothing, actually. There's just what seems to be going on. And the thing is, I don't know. I have no clue what's going on. And nobody does. But there can seem to be, within what seems to be going on, there can seem to be an experience of, I know what's going on. I am here. And I know what's going on. I know that this is a meeting. I know that this is hair. I know that the wall is red. And so the wall is red, is separate from me. But honestly, I don't know if that's red. It's just a word that we've all agreed upon to use to name a certain color. But I still don't know what the color is. Not really, actually. It's not solid only. It's I don't know. It's a color. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's just a word. And what's a word? I don't know. And so I guess that's what we're here to talk about tonight, which is that we have no fucking clue what this is. No clue. None whatsoever. It's impossible. There is no this, actually. There's nothing at all. But it's not a nothing that can be comprehended, because then there would be a position. I know that this is nothing, appearing as something, as a conversation, as a red wool, as hair. And I know all that. It's not what we're talking about. That's the impossibility. It's a complete mystery that we're talking about. A complete mystery. Nobody has a clue. And that's I was about to say it's the natural state, natural reality, but I don't know that. I don't know that. So yeah, I guess it's a word that can be used to describe life without me. But it's just a description. Even saying there is no one, well, it's very, very accurate. There isn't anyone, period. But it's still words. It still doesn't quite catch this, nothing. How could we catch nothing? And how, in this, nothing is everything at the same time, simultaneously. So how could we catch everything or nothing? Or everything being nothing? How can it be understood? How can it be known? It can't. That's what we're talking about here. Is that this, as it is everything. And it's all there is, and it's all there ever was, and it's all there ever will be. And there's no one that knows what it is, what it was, or what it will be. I have no clue what we're talking about, once again, no clue whatsoever. So there can be an experience over that of, let's say, a need for an answer, a need for a better experience of life, a need to be free, things like that. And so if that's what seems to be going on, well, that's what seems to be going on. But there is no answer. There's no one that knows shit. So there's not a position here that knows something which over there is not known. Because there is no over here and there is no over there. There's just sitting on the sofa or wherever this body over there is sat, but it's not sat over there because there's still no over there and there's still no here either, because these are just words to describe this. Everything, nothing. So there are probably hundreds of thousands, if not billions, millions, I don't know, stories said about this, including this one. And that's just a story. I mean, everything is a story already, in a way, you could say. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I guess it's a good description to say everything is a story. As in, it's not real. It's not solid. It's just what's going on. Now, when I say it's not real, I don't mean, oh, it's unreal. No. It's just this mic, this conversation, the red wall, and blah, 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 blah. The conversation, the blah, blah, blah. Everything is this. Everything. No exception. So this is a complete pointless meeting. And yet there seems to be seeming individuals that seem interested in this, interested in nothing, you could say, or interested in, again, freedom. But there is no freedom to be found, because this, what is freedom, appearing as whatever is appearing. No exception. Now, should there be questions or comments, things you'd like to say, just unmute yourself and let's chat. Why not?
Hello, Max. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
It takes a good bit of burden off to know that the meeting is pointless. In a way, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I stumbled the non-duality thing a couple of weeks back, and one thing I've been thinking is like the idea of doership.
Okay.
So what I know is, what I feel is, okay, I'm not beating my heart, I'm not running my body, the blood is circulating by itself and everything, but I am able to lift my finger and do this whenever I want to. So my question is, I mean, the doer is there, right? In a way, no?
Well, it's what seems to be, that's how it appears there. And so there's, well, that's the doer, that's me doing this. But it can't be you doing this because there isn't anyone. It's just what's appearing to happen. Even if you tell yourself, I'm going to lift my finger up, well, there was no one telling that already. So if there's no one, there's no doer. It's the same.
Yeah, if there is no one,
thinker,
then, yeah.
You see?
If there is no one, then there's no doer. But as long as I have not seen that through, there appears to be me, right? I mean, for me.
See through what?
I mean,
you see, you said it. You said it all. You said it all right there. It appears to be that there appears to be a me for me. But
yeah, I mean,
there isn't anyone. So
okay.
But that's what appears. That's what appears. But it's just words trying to grasp this thing here, trying to find this me. You see, that's the funny thing, because if there was someone, well, it would be known. You would know. You wouldn't doubt. Well, heartbeating, it happens on its own, but I can lift my fingers.
yeah, but that's my experiences. I mean, I'm trying to make a distinction between that because I'm not able to control my heartbeat, right?
Are you asking me? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking. I'm wondering and asking.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, no, I mean, the heart beats on its own, but it's just an example which you used, I guess, to point out that there are cases where it seems obvious that, well, there's no doer, or call it however you want, but there isn't a doer period. So the heart beats on its own, the breathing happens on its own, eating happens on its own, talking happens on its own, sitting on a chair happens on its own, questioning happens on its own. seemingly finding an answer happens on its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it very complicated.
Sorry?
That makes it very complicated for me to comprehend.
It's impossible to comprehend.
Yeah.
There isn't anything to understand. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what this is. Nobody does. But there seems to appear someone that should know, you see? Over there, perhaps. I don't know. And the suggestion is that that's actually not happening. That's actually not real. But it's not like suddenly, so you'll become no one or something will go or whatever. No, it's just there is already nothing appearing as a body. See? Already. So that's the thing, there's already no seeking. There's already no quest. There's already no question. There's already no answer. Already. And then it's heard as it's heard, but it's already the case. So of course, it's if there seems to be me, right, or doer, or call it however you want, same. Well, it's what seems to be. What seems to be. Which means it's not. It's what seems to be. Already. Not.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Sure, welcome. Thank you. We're really talking about something that's impossible to talk about because we're really talking about nothing. But it just seems, I have no idea how, why, but it just seems maybe to be something to be understood, to be felt, to be blah, 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 that needs to be fulfilled. There might be an experience of, well, this here is not enough. And what we're talking about really is that there is no experience. There is no one that owns an experience. And so there's really nothing to say, really. But I don't know, this thing here seems to talk about it, you know, for no sake, on its own sake, just because it's, I don't know, no reason. And it may seem that someone here has gotten something which someone there hasn't. But that's really, really not what's being said. Really not. It's just, there is no seeking. And so it can be felt over there that maybe there seems to be a difference with that guy Maxx there. But really there isn't. That's the most gigantic joke. It's a cosmic joke, call it however you want, that there isn't anything to understand, that there seems to be something or someone or an awareness, or call it however you want, which seems to inhabit this body, which seems to own a life, and that needs to understand the thing called life, and there is actually no thing called life. This is nothing appearing as, sure, call it life, but it's just a word, it's just a description of this, what is. So what is, no one knows. I mean, that's the biggest joke that no one ever gets. No one ever really gets. We could say it can be realized by no one that, yeah, it's a joke, really. There seems to be something which seeks its own absence or its own perfection. But there seems to be something. There isn't something already. So there is that whole experience of me, I am, you could say, is the experience of seeking something else that will bring me something which will fulfill me. But there's still already no one doing that apparent seeking. So that whole experience of seeking does not exist already. That's it. And that's already way too much to say, because really there's just nothing to say about it. And there's no it to talk about, to say about it, but there's nothing to say, period. Maybe. But any word that's being used is just the word that's being used, that pops up, that, and maybe if there seems to be an I am over there, me, or call it however you want, well, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I mean, if there seems to be that, there seems to be that, that's all really. Still no idea what this is. And no one can know what this is. So what we're talking about is the apparent end of seeking. And it's apparent because there's already no real seeking. That whole experience of my life, me, myself, and I is completely empty. And this, what's going on, is completely empty as well. Because there is only this, only. There's nothing outside of this. There's nothing inside of this. There's just this. And the words cannot capture it, cannot explain this, because there's nothing to explain. There's just this. This communication is a real conversation killer, because just laying out in a few words, basically, this is it. There's nothing else. There's only this. This. And there's no one in it or outside of it or whatever. I mean, kills a conversation in an instant. What do you want to say about it? Oh yeah. Seems quite obvious. That's the thing. It's so freaking obvious. I mean, if there's only this, of course there's no seeking. There is only this. No matter how real or important, or I don't know, this so-called search seems to be, it's spiritual search or whatever search, it's actually already not happening. Everything seems to renew itself constantly. The breathing, the heart beating, I don't know, everything.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Jennifer.
A few months ago, I watched a video of yours in which there was mention of some childhood trauma.
Okay.
Actually, some pretty serious childhood trauma, as I recall. Yeah. And is that something that still can like raise its head or kind of rise in thoughts or feelings disturbingly, or does that just sort of dissipate over time, or how has it been for you with that?
It's hard to say really. I mean, there's no rule. It's just it seems it was a problem for many, many years, and at some point it wasn't, you see. But it wasn't an issue. It's just what was happening, you see. I mean, now actually, funny enough, I was in France. Well, until today, I came back today actually, this morning, and 2 or 3 days ago, I had a walk with a friend, and we just passed right by where it happens, you see. And so there was just a memory of, oh yeah, that was there, you know. But
yeah,
that's about it, you know. I mean,
yeah. So it didn't it was not like a big deal or anything.
No. Oh, it hasn't been a big deal for. Can't remember the last time it was a big deal, to be honest. No.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, because you see, it's the assumption maybe that, well, if I get this, really, if I really get it, this is it. If I really, then I'm free. And if I'm free, maybe certain things, I won't think of them anymore, or they won't bother me anymore. But I mean, see, that's the thing, because in a way, yes. I mean, because if it dawns that there isn't anyone, yeah, it is this, I don't know, it's a lift. It's a weight that lifts off, like really. But you see, saying that is just an explanation, you see. It's not like what this communication is saying really is there's just what's going on, and I have no clue what's going on. I don't own an experience. There isn't anyone already. That's what it's saying, really. And so if what's going on is, I don't know, you know, seems to be trauma as well, it's what seems to be going on, but there isn't anyone to have a trauma already. There isn't anyone that has a problem. There isn't anyone that's looking for an ideal of life, if that makes sense, you see, already.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I occasionally hear other speakers who are speaking on non-duality. I don't know, talk about things that appeared to happen.
Sorry, talking about what? I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just talking about circumstances that appeared to happen when they were younger or throughout their lives or whatever. And it seems like in some cases there's still some kind of residue or something that is kind of having some sort of emotional effect at times or whatever. So I was just, it sounds like in your case that's certainly not.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah, but you see, that's the thing is, I hear speakers say things, and so it seems in their case it's like this. Maybe for Maxx it's different, and so maybe for me, this is my point. Something will happen, but there can be so-called emotional triggers, sure, but it's not. I wouldn't call them that anymore. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's the end of knowing what this is. So I don't know. I mean, yeah. So I spent time with some of my friends in France, and most of them are parents now, and with young children, like 2, 3, 4 years old, you know. And I told them, just watching you guys, I'm exhausted. Like I was just like, you know, and I guess you could call that a trigger. You see my point? Like, but I mean, it's just what's going on, you see?
Yeah.
It's just what's going on. And I was just reminded that say like, I really don't want children, you know? It's just, yeah. What we're talking about really is that center that anchor, that knows, that experiences that there is no center anymore. So if there's a seeming emotion, well, it's what's going on, but no one's like kind of trying to control it, to make it less, to keep it. It's a nice one, you see, or a so-called nice one. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Max.
Welcome, Jennifer. Cheers. Nice to see you, by the way.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Hi, Max.
Hey, Tanya.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having this.
Sure, pleasure. Thanks for coming.
You know, I spend a lot of times in meetings and a lot. And
Okay.
I never ask any questions because the questions come and then I shut them down, you know, because, you know, it's just how it goes, right? But I don't know, lately I've been, the mind, the me, it always wants to hang on to something, you know. Lately it's going back to wanting to prove that it does things. I do things. I'm a me and I do things. So lately the whole idea of the me really being the seeking energy is kind of what sparked this, because a lot of speakers talk about the me. Really, that's what it is. It's the seeking energy. That is the me. And so the me's like, yeah, see, bitch, I do shit. That's right. I seek. I'm like, yeah. You want to talk about that? Can we talk about that?
Sure. There's nothing to say really. I mean, it's
no, because it's just what it's preparing to happen, and it is the beloved. It's everything, right? It just is what it is. But you got to shut that.
It is what it is. But I mean, you see, it depends on how it's heard. Like the me, like I find it quite an interesting way to say the me. Like it makes it a real thing. Like, there is a me. It's the me. It's not me. No. It's the me. You see my point? I mean, that's it. It's the other one. It's that bastard over there. It's not me. It's not me.
It's the me.
Boom, separation. It's not me. It's the me. You see?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I mean, the me, I hear there is no one, but there's the me that does things, that knows things, that will prove, this me will prove to myself, see my point here, that I exist, that I do things. Yeah, I mean.
Exactly, I love it.
Yeah.
No,
doesn't prove shit. But you see, because you could say we're really talking about, if you talk about me, you're talking about, well, it's indescribable because it doesn't exist, but you're talking about an energy, you could say, maybe a feeling, a felt sense of being, you see. Yeah. But yeah, me seeking energy, it's all the same. We're all just, you see, using words to describe the indescribable. Of course, it doesn't work because it's describing the indescribable. Yeah. Just the unbelievable part. Well, nothing's believable in that way, but the unbelievable part of what's being shared here is that there is already no one. There's already nothing to change. And the so-called seeking energy, I mean, were you born with that idea of seeking energy? No, it's something you learned in non-duality things. That makes sense. Before you learned this, oh, that sounds about right. Well, I mean, I don't know. That was like that for me, honestly.
Yeah.
You know? And oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's that thing. It's a seeking energy. And boom, this so-called me thing, which doesn't exist, but which seems to be somehow real to the so-called perceiver or whatever, it just owns it straight away. It's my seeking energy. It's my thing.
Yeah.
And it's my me.
Exactly.
Ergo, the
my me.
You see, yeah.
His me and her me and my me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all just nonsensical. Now, if that's what's going on, that's what's going on. It's not bad. It's not, it's just, but yeah, we're just illuminating the, sorry,
Yeah, no, that's it right there. Is I think you know, as much as I squash questions and I squash things, the one thing that's been so beautiful for me lately is just remembering that the me, and I put my hands up in quotations because I'm not on video, the me is it too. It's beautiful. It's a gift. It's glorious. It's everything. It's and when I look at it that way and I embrace it that way, I love it more, you know, because it's there for me right now. And I can't, you know, I can't do anything about that. But to see that it is also this is somewhat, I don't know, makes it
yeah. Well, what I would say about that is we're not talking about a beautiful thing that needs to that can be found. You see, that's all loving and great and all beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful, but it is beautiful as it is. You see,
yeah.
So it's just this mic thing here. See.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but today it's not very warm outside, but I'm really warm the whole day. It's not pleasant. Well, it's freaking annoying. I don't find it beautiful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it
But
does.
of course it is. It is, you know, beautiful or whatever. But it's, yeah, I don't know. Just pointing out this.
Yeah, but I think the flip side is, you know, all of us with me's still, you know, are trying to get rid of the me. Oh, this me is horrible, and I need to get rid. But you know, I think what I was more alluding to is just like, you know, it's okay. This is what is, and I got a me. I'm okay, cool. Then it's not, you know, it's nothing to be mad about. It's just what it is. Sure, you know,
it is. Yeah, it is what it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, and you know, yeah, it's crazy, but I'm glad I brought it up, and
oh yeah,
and I feel so comfortable here to do that. So thank you for holding that.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it, Tanya. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You see, another way to describe the indescribable is that it seems that people, then there are none, all right, but people believe to exist. Believe. We're talking about a belief here. And I mean, again, I find actually what's very entertaining and very interesting, because I remember
who's believing? But who's believing? That's, you know.
Well, no one. That's why. That's why I'm talking about a belief, not someone believing, a belief. And the belief is the belief that there is a someone, a person that needs to get something here and that is seeking. And that's why there is already no seeking. It's a belief, and there's no getting rid of a belief. There's no getting rid of a belief. It's a belief. So when you hear things like, right, I don't know, right, well, it's all an illusion. Well, yeah, I mean, there's no getting rid of an illusion. It's an illusion. It's all a story. There's no getting rid of a story because it's a story.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
That's what I love about you, Max. You really, you know, you really just make
I'm handsome. No, sorry, I'm kidding. Sorry.
You do though, you know, there's the relentless in your face, you know, but you just, I don't know, it's always just so perfectly simple, like a children's melody, like a little, it's so perfect and so gentle. It's, you know, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your words. Thank you, Tanya. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Hey, Max.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hello.
So good.
What's up?
Yeah, I was just thinking about, you know, the beautiful and glorious. It's all beautiful and glorious, right? As Tanya just said, and we want to say that, but, you know, it really isn't, like you were saying. It's, but when we say it's beautiful or it's glorious, it's like that takes up all the space and says what it is, but it's not. What it is like so much more than any word that we could say, you know, and not even more. It's like even more, you know, and so when I say it's beautiful, you know, there's something in there that knows what's going on, and okay, I'm going to put this word on it. It's that, and it's not that. You know, it's like the birds flying around aren't saying, oh, it's all beautiful and glorious. You know, they're not bothering with that. There's nobody in the bird that's, you know, wanting to. And it's, yeah, I don't know. That's just
wanted to nip your food. That's what they do here.
Oh, Dan, I love that, because it's true. I think it's just conditioning that we're always like, oh, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's loving, it's, you know, the words we use, you know, you're so right. I love that you call that out, because it's just such a habit, right? Like, oh, we want it to be beautiful. I'm a me, and I'm beautiful, you know. Yeah, it's such a great call out, because it's just conditioning. I think that we lean on that. Yeah, it can be ugly and awesome too.
Well, the conditioning, yeah, but it's also that experience of being someone and having this feeling that, well, it's really not quite beautiful enough, and it's really not, you know, so, you know, we want to say it's beautiful, you know, to kind of counteract that feeling. But you know, what it really is just like so much bigger than all of that, and even bigger. I mean, I'm using the words, you have to use funny words.
Yeah.
But it's hard though to let go of the label, or just the place.
Yeah.
I mean, label is a good word. Yeah. Is a label. Yeah. That's good. Gold, Dan. Gold.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's what I want is I want it a certain way, to respond to Dan was saying. So what I want is I want it a certain way, and so I hear things, and that's it. Beautiful, glorious. And now Dan says, well, it's I forgot your words, but it's bigger than all of that. And me goes, that's it. It's bigger than all of it. But that's actually not what is meant. And that's the problem for me, is me sees things a certain way. And when I say it's a problem for me, you see, I'm not implying that there is a problem with me. There is no problem with a so-called me. There isn't. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point. There actually isn't, because there is no such thing already as a so-called me. But me is what I guess embodies everything as being real, solid, thick, having a meaning. So boom, beautiful, bigger than everything beautiful, for example. And whereas what Dan is saying is actually nothing else but what he's saying. And it's as simple, actually. And when it's heard as it's heard, when it's heard as it's said, game over. That's it. Because then any word can be used. Who cares? We still have no clue what we're talking about, but at the same time, it's known, I want to say, but not mentally so. It's just the obvious. It's just obviousness itself. It's I don't know, maybe. And I wasn't implying that me does what I said it does. It was just a potential explanation of what it does. You see, that's the thing. It's endless. It's endless for me. There must be something here. There must be something that someone will say that will just flip it all. And that's the hell, because there isn't anything to flip at all. At all.
And the me is just always this one that wants to come in and get on top of it, or like just to say what it is, you know, just to
yeah, absolutely.
And it can't be done.
Nope. Never. But just that phrase, just what you said, if it's heard again, game over. It can't be done. It's that simple. It says it all. whatever me wants, whatever I want to free myself in that way cannot be done, period. I'm sorry, by the way, for doing it earlier than last time. I couldn't make it later tonight, but next week I'll. It's all right. We can still go on for a while now. I'm just saying. Next week I'll do it again at 9 p.m. UK time. I think it's easier for most people. Anyway, there was just a communication within the communication. Hello, Julia.
It couldn't have been any other way.
Nope, never. That's the story of feeling like someone in a nutshell. Things should have been another way. And so must be or will be another way. Boom. That is just not real, not true. And that's why, in a way, you could say there can be a great deal of suffering, feeling separate, feeling like an individual, because you're hoping for something better, which never arrives. Or you live in the past, well, it's both actually, in the past that was either way better or way worse, or maybe I did something wrong and blah, blah, blah. It's what I was about to say, it is horrible. I don't know if it is horrible. It doesn't have to be, but for me, it was horrible. It really was. But see, saying this can make it seem that, right, so there is something that must have happened to Maxx, because if he's saying it was horrible, implying it's not anymore now, and that's actually what's being implied, yet there simply never was a Maxx. So there is no comparison anymore with so-called before. It makes no sense. If there's a thought of the so-called past, there's a thought of a so-called past. That's all it is. If there's a thought of a so-called future, there's a thought of a so-called future. What the fuck am I going to eat tonight? I still have no clue. I don't want to cook. Oh my God. Yeah, life, you know. I mean, but for me, the thing is, for me is, yeah, life, my life. But there is no my life. And there is no life as a thing, as a real entity, I want to say, as a real, I don't know, as a real something. There just isn't. Life is simply all there is, but no one knows life. No one knows, and no one ever will know life. And that's the magic. I mean, but without it being magic all the time, it's not what I'm saying. It's just, it's the wonder of just the simplicity of this conversation. Sleeping, breathing, crying, shouting. Why not?
And the simplicity of life, which is what is always this, it's just always what is. There isn't anything else, except there's a story of something else. You know, we can make up a story, and that's my life. And in my life, then things are horrible or good or whatever. But this is just, it isn't horrible and it isn't good. It isn't, there isn't anything that it is. Yeah. And all, yeah. We want to say what it is, we have to put it back in this, in a story that doesn't exist. It's only something imagined.
Which brings back to the very impossibility of talking about this.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Yet it seems we're doing it. I mean, if that's not wonderful, I mean, seriously, what? It's amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's just literally, it's completely mind-blowing, because it's completely impossible to talk about this, yet it seems we are talking about it.
Mhm.
There is no one. Yes, it seems we are. That's freaking amazing. And for me, that's a contradiction, but there is no contradiction. That's the thing. There is no mystery. It's just how it is. Apparently. No, it's just how it is. I mean,
well, it just doesn't happen to be something that you can talk about. You know, language just doesn't apply to it.
yeah.
It doesn't receive any kind of, you know, descriptions. It doesn't, there's nothing there to put. And if you put a description on it, then you end up just looking at the description. You're not catching the thing. You're not catching any. Yeah. But I don't know, and the me, if we say there's a me, the me is just this idea that descriptions are real, the stories, and that my story is real. When my story really is just a description of something. It's just, it's a story. And I've never seen me in order to describe it. You know, nobody has seen me. Me has never appeared anywhere. This is what's, you know, the appearance is this. Yeah.
It's just what is. Just what is. I mean, I don't know, it's just, again, mind-blowing that it can be so mind-boggling to just what is. What do you mean, just what is?
Yeah.
It can't be more precise than that, actually. Just that, do you know what I mean? Just this, what's going on? This. That's what is.
And then me says, what do you mean? What is it in my story that you're pointing to that I can, you know, have a concept of and understand? No. Because it's everything.
It is.
That's all that's here is everything.
Yeah. And no one to know that. Or not to know that. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. Cheers, buddy.
And the me needs to know, what is it? You know, I need to know what it is because I need to do something about it. How can I do anything if I don't know what it is? You know, it all goes together. And that's.
Yeah, it does.
And there's no, you know, that would be a fine idea, but it, you know, it's just really crazy because there's nothing like that here. There's nothing, it's never here, you know. The knowing of what is or the doing about something, you know, it's just this, this appearance of a story that's going on or something.
Yep. Absolutely amazing. Yet ordinary.
There's nothing more extraordinary than ordinary.
Absolutely. There's nothing more than ordinary.
And all the ideas of more and less, and all these words is just part of the me story.
Yeah, it's part of the comparison, as it's seems to be a big thing for me, because, well, I live amongst others, so all I see is me and others and me, and then I'm not like them and they're not like me, and that's a bad thing, or it's a good thing, or blah blah blah. And me living good and bad with others, but it's all part of the
because the me is already a feeling of not enough. Whatever me is, it's not enough, and this experience right here is not enough. So now I have to know, what's better and what's worse, so I can get to better. And keep worse away, get rid of the worse and get the better.
And that's the struggle. That's the struggle for me. It's just it's
is the me. That's the me experience, no matter what. And it's not happening. It doesn't exist. This is what there is. And
that's I mean, seeking simply does not exist. It just doesn't. It's seeking is the me experience, but it just doesn't. It seems so real because it seems that you're in it, but that's the thing, you're not in it. There's no you and there's no it and there's no you in it. I mean, it's just, I have no clue what seeking is. And that's the thing, for me knows what seeking is, because that's what it's doing. So me knows exactly what seeking is and can describe it many ways, and can meet other me's talking about a thing called non-duality, for example, and describe my experience of seeking, my pain, my suffering, my quest, my discovery. Now I'm getting there, or I'm getting less and less me. Getting there, right? and that's the thing. Me knows what seeking is, but there isn't. Seeking does not exist. There couldn't possibly be knowing what it is. It's just. Juna says, why this feeling of unworthiness, that I am never good enough, need to do more, be accepted, and never do wrong? Would I like to say something about this? I have no idea why, Julia. But that's the thing. Me wants to know why, because I want to know why, because if I know why, then I have the answer, which will help me not feel like this, not feel like it's good enough. I'll be satisfied. And that's basically, that's all that we've been describing, if you like. That's that's basically the me experience of comparing. And so, there you go, of comparing. And so I'll get there at some point. I'll be accepted. There will be that moment in my life where I'll accept myself, I'll accept everyone, for example. There won't be any wrongdoing on my behalf or by someone else, to someone else, I don't know. And blah, 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 blah. And so me keeps going, keeps wanting to be good enough. But that's what's happening. I mean, that's what's happening. And we could find many reasons as to why. Education and blah, blah, blah. And maybe there was this trauma and this, but there is no reason. If that happens, it's just what's happening. But the truth is, there is no one to be worthy or unworthy. There is no one to be good or bad enough, accepted or not. There's no escape for me.
And if we had an
You're
answer,
welcome.
oh,
Sorry, no, going on.
yeah. I'm just saying, if we had an answer to why, if we found, you know, the big answer to why, it wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't help.
Absolutely not. That's the thing. That's the assumption of seeking. Really, is that I have the answer. If I have the answer, then, well, I'm solved. And so, if I have the ultimate answer, I'm enlightened. I'm free. I'm blah blah blah. Call it however you want it. It's I don't know. However, what's being said is it's much better and much simpler. There is already no one. There's already nothing happening, or nothing really happening, if you prefer. But same.
Because what the me is the question. It's a question of why and how, and just this energy of needing to get the answer to my condition, to my questioning thing, and there is no answer. The answer just doesn't ever come. Because the me is already a question. It's just asking the question, looking for. That's the search, looking for the.
There's just no solution, and or you could say the solution is that there is none, but
it's not happening.
Me go, oh, okay, so I have to start finding a solution. And no, that's not what's being said. It's really, there is no solution. For me, everything is solid, real, makes sense, or should make sense. But it doesn't. So, hamster wheel. And yeah. Welcome, Julia. Cool. That's cool. We've overrun by 10 minutes. Does anyone else wants to say something or wants to share something? Or anyone who's spoken already, no problem. I'll take that as a no. Cool.